Hey guys, Sean here, founder of Shock Surplus. Today we are going to do a buyer's guide on the Nissan 350Z. All we do here is test shocks and struts on street cars, track cars, off-road vehicles. We're rebuilding shocks. We are doing custom assemblies here, so we are deep in the suspension space, and all we think about is suspension, how all these different shock options will feel under your vehicle, how you feel in the driver's seat. That's all we're concerned about. We've got no loyalty to anything here on the table. We sell all these brands, but we're really here just to guide you so you know what's best for your vehicle. We're not trying to tell you what to run. So let's get into it. This is just going to be a basic introductory to factory kind of replacement level shocks up to kind of some entry level performance shocks like the Bilstein and the Koni. These aren't the exact struts that go on 350Z. On those, there's a little bit of a different mount down here, but all of these offerings are accurate. Same kind of ride dynamics applied to the Z as well. So just wanted to cover that for any nitpickies that don't recognize what the actual strut looks like. Over here, we've got Unity's single, fully assembled unit. This comes with the strut, the coil spring, and the top mount all in a single shock tower. So that really makes it easy for do-it-yourself in the garage, in the driveway. Really easy replacement. You unbolt the factory shock tower, you put these in and bolt up the strut to everything else. Pretty easy stuff. No coil spring compressor required. Unity is the only one doing that out of Monroe, KYB, Gabriel. So really solid unit, highly recommended, especially on a budget. So really good there. KYB does have an option as well, only comes with the strut by itself. Same thing with Monroe. These struts come by themselves, no springs, no top mounts, and all three of these are going to basically ride the same, along with Gabriel, along with Sensen, along with Zax. A lot of the factory replacement units that are budget level in the $150 kind of or less, give or take range, you aren't going to get any more comfort out of them. You aren't going to get any more control out of them or better handling out of them. They're all just basic factory replacements, and they all are going to last in the same 30 to 50,000 mile range. That's typical of shock replacements. So very standard, very easy decision. I will put money on that most people cannot tell what is actually under their vehicle between a Monroe, a KYB, or a Unity. No offense to them, but that's how precise their valving is compared to stock. So just want to throw that out there. So the other thing about Unity, XL, KYB XL, and Monroe is these really aren't recommended for lowering springs. If you've lowered your Z, we definitely recommend going to at least a sport damper like Bilstein or Koni. Which brings us to Bilstein and Koni. Koni right here are their yellow sport adjustable struts. These are very adaptable to lowering springs of various heights. You are going to lose some comfort versus a stock riding vehicle. That's just kind of the name of the game when you're getting into performance dampers. The other great thing about these Konis is that they are rebound adjustable, which significantly impacts ride comfort and handling. So when you're wanting to pair something with lowering springs, these are a great option because out of the box on the Konis plus the lowering springs might not be where you want the ride handling to be, which is where the rebound adjustment is going to come into play, along with being able to adjust these as well while they're still on the vehicle. To adapt to a track session or a weekend sporty driving session. So Konis are exceptional. They are much more expensive. At this unit right here, I believe, is about 350 bucks for the front two corners on this Z. The other option on the sports side of things and kind of entry level introductory performance damper is the Bilstein B6. Bilstein also has the B8, so let's just pretend there's another Bilstein yellow shock here. The typical differences between the B6 and the B8 are the lengths of the actual shock itself. So B6 is a stock upgrade. You can still run it with lowering springs, but The B8s are a little bit shorter to accommodate a lower riding vehicle. So not by much, maybe by an inch at most, maybe an inch and a half at most. So the body's the same, but the shock stroke is a little bit shorter on the B8s. The valving profile is a little bit firmer on the B8s as well because it's got less space to control the vehicle. So when you get into the B6, compared to these factory replacements, Bilstein is going to be a lot firmer. A lot of people actually don't like the transformation of the ride when they go Bilstein, because you hear a lot about Bilstein, and Bilstein is an exceptional part, probably one of the best handling shocks out there, but they are not the softest shock on the block. They have a digressive piston. We're not going to get into the specifics of what digressive versus linear pistons mean here, but just know that Bilstein doesn't smoothen out all the daily chatter, doesn't smoothen out the bumps. You feel those just as much, if not more, because the primary concern out of a Bilstein shock is handling. If you want improved handling, but still maintain some civility and comfort on the road, these Konis might be a better option, but they are more expensive than a Bilstein B6 or a Bilstein B8. So one of these shocks isn't the best for everybody. There is no best shock out here. The Konis are great if they're within your budget and you want adjustability based on different driving styles. The B6 is a super solid, very long-lasting performance shock upgrade where you want a lot of handling and comfort isn't your primary concern. And then the B8 is for lowered springs. You're going to basically kind of expect the same kind of characteristics out of the B6 and the B8. Between all of these, massive range of price difference. Closer to 150 bucks per unit on the Unity, probably about 100 bucks per unit on the KYB and Monroe struts. This Koni adjustable is probably about 350 bucks per unit, and the Bilstein unit is about 250 bucks. We have all of these on our site. We have no loyalty to any brand. We aren't trying to tell you what to run. We're just trying to help you figure out what to run on your Z. So hit us up in the comments, message us at support@shocksurplus.com. Otherwise, we'll see you on the street, and thanks for watching.